Welcome. It's good to have you. You have reached the Columbia Engineering Executive Education Program overview webinar in the topic Construction Project Management. So we're going to be taking you through this upcoming program. We have a lot in store to share with you here today. We're going to be talking about what this program contains, that curriculum, what you'll be learning. We're also going to be talking about how that learning is delivered. So what is that learning experience like? We're going to get a full understanding about this program, both in terms of that content as well as the experience of being a participant and what you can expect on the day-to-day. So let's go ahead and dive right in. A lot to cover. We're going to be taking a look at the speakers here in just a moment. I'm going to introduce you to you, both of our keynote speakers for today. You'll learn more about this broader ecosystem here at Columbia Engineering, this environment that you're joining here. What can you expect, and what is that call to action at Columbia as you think about joining this community? You'll learn more about the program faculty who's designed this program, and then we will hand over that spotlight where you will learn more from your faculty about the course, about that through line of logic throughout the curriculum, how that will unfold for you. From there, we'll talk about the learning experience, those day-to-day tactical components, and then as promised, we'll get to all of your questions there. And with that, I now warmly invite into the spotlight. We have two keynote subject matter experts here with us today. First, we have Ibrahim O'Day, the program faculty. He's a senior lecturer of civil engineering and engineering mechanics at Columbia Engineering, as well as the founding director of Global Leaders in Construction Management, the GLCM. There's some information there if you'd like to learn more. But Professor O'Day, thank you for being here with us today. Would you like to jump in and greet our participants?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Marie. Very looking forward to speak with everyone.
So that is a teaser of what's to come. We're going to hear more from Professor O'Day here. He's joined by his colleague here, Jade Quintero. She is the admissions officer, or one of the admissions officers at Columbia Video Network. So she knows a lot about Columbia. Jade, I'm going to hand this over to you so you can tell us more about the school, this environment that participants are joining here in this program. Thanks for being with us, Jade. Over to you.
Great. Thank you so much, Marie. So like Marie said, I'm an admissions officer at Columbia Video Network. So just for some context, Columbia Video Network is the online component of the School of Engineering and Applied Sciences. So part of what I do is help support all of our executive education offerings, like our construction project management course. So to give you some background about Columbia Engineering, kind of get to know the school and the environment a little bit. Columbia Engineering was founded in 1864 as a school of mining and metallurgy. And then we expanded just a bit. Now we have 9 academic departments across pretty much all areas of engineering. So that's, computer science, civil engineering, like Professor O'Day, mechanical engineering, and just about everything in between. We have over 1,500 undergraduate students, over 2,000 graduate students. And we continue to be leaders in knowledge, innovation, entrepreneurship. We've launched over 30 startups in the past 5 years. And we have our incredible faculty members and our students who have made really great contributions to all of society and technological and social progress. And just at Columbia Engineering, we have faculty that have won 10 Nobel Prizes across physics, chemistry, medicine, and economics. So like I said, the construction project management course is hosted under Columbia Video Network. So we help Professor O'Day create the course, make sure everything is running smoothly, and make sure you all are getting the best experience possible. So I'll be on here in the background if you all have any questions about Columbia Engineering or any other questions about any of our programs. But with that, I'll hand it back to Marie so she can take us through the program overview and hand it over to Professor O'Day, sorry.
Thank you, Jade. Thank you for being here with us. As you can see, this is an all hands on deck environment. Jade with the Video Network providing that support. Columbia Engineering, this broader ecosystem, this broader environment that you're joining, really setting forth a call to action here that is cross-disciplinary, bringing together all of these different vectors within engineering to provide an opportunity for you to bring your learning to life and really have transformational experiences. And so So that's what we're doing here in this program. We've designed this program for full-time working professionals who are in the construction industry and interested in pursuing a more advanced management roles. We've designed a program that's really going to help you to expand on your toolkit, your skills, those business acumen that you're going to be able to bring to your industry roles. Some of those roles are described for you here. So as you're thinking about your program fit, be sure to let us know in the chat if you have any questions related to whether or not the professional role that you're in or the industry that you're in is going to be a good fit for this program. We are joined here by a team of program advisors. They're in the chat, they're in the question box, and they are course experts here. They know all about the program. So if you have any questions related to program fit, we know that's why many of you are here to figure out if this is a program that's right for you. Please do let us know there in the chat. We're going to be responding as we go throughout our time together. So with that, let's go ahead and hand that spotlight over to the star of the show, the other star of the show. Here we have with us Ibrahim O'Day, and it's my great honor and privilege to introduce him here to each and every one of you. He's a senior lecturer of civil engineering and engineering mechanics at Columbia Engineering. He's a founding director, as we mentioned, of the Global Leaders in Construction Management, and here really bringing his industry background, his research background to this program. His research focuses on assisting construction firms with strategic management assignments in areas related to strategy and business development, infrastructure and construction market analysis, market entry strategy, and trends affecting the future of the construction market. The result of his work has helped several companies in the decision-making process to enter new geographical locations, expand to new markets, build new units within the same institutions, and differentiate firms during pre-bidding process and mega projects. So if you're at any of these stages, Professor O'Day brings a lot of knowledge and expertise and experience here to this program. I am now going to hand over that spotlight to you, Professor O'Day. Just a quick reminder to pose questions in for us. And with that, Professor O'Day, please take us away. Thanks for being here with us.
Absolutely. Marie, thank you. This is a great introduction, and really appreciate always the support. Great working with you and your team. And I'm very excited to get to know everyone, hopefully here on the call that attending our webinar today. As Marie said, I joined Columbia almost 12 years ago. I work in the area of what we call strategy management. And this area is more focused, especially in the last 7 or even 8 years from those 12 years on helping organizations and companies understanding the trends in the construction industry, construction and infrastructure world, and what to do with that from strategically in enhancing the business operation for the companies. So I am more into engage with the corporate level the majority of my time, but still engage also on the project level to understand what's going on in the field. To give the right advice. From my teaching, I do teach classes here at Columbia. I do teach online, as you can see here from Emeritus and many other platforms. But Emeritus is still dear to my heart. I like their professionalism. I like the interaction that they do in the live interaction with learners. And we're going to talk about it in a minute towards the end with the methodology of the teaching aspect. I do sit on several advisory boards from companies here, well-established companies, and work with them as a consultant, like companies like Skanska, Turner, AECOM, and many others, Turner and Townsend. And also I sit on boards for companies, minority women-owned businesses and minority businesses in the New York City area. Last but not least, I help currently 5 startups from the East Coast, from Silicon Valley, to take the company to the to operational increase, hopefully within their client pool and so on. So I'm very passionate of whatever happening with the changes in our field. Students and learners keep asking me how to keep involved with my team here and what we can do to know your studies. I always point them towards the website, my website, glcm.info. You can find all the information there. And also they ask us, can we participate? I said, you know what, you can scan this barcode. You can see it under my picture here. and it will take you to a form, and that what we call the global network we have under the GLCM team at Columbia. We have closer to 4 or even close now 5,000 members in that network. So you are welcome to join that network, and you will get from us several of the emails of the work we are doing. Of course, you can join us on LinkedIn also to highlight. We highlight a lot of the articles also we write based on projects that we do. So this is kind of the introduction that I wanted to add in addition to what Marie mentioned. Let me dig deeper now on the course overview. This specific course, Marie talked about what if you came from the industry, already in the industry, or not yet the industry, but you want to enter to the industry. I'm going to take you into this roadmap, and I divide it into 4 major blocks, education blocks. Let's refer to it at that. Starting from the fundamentals of the project. When you think about construction projects, either it's going to be a vertical construction from residential, from commercial, mixed use, all the way to the infrastructure world, which is the bridges, roads and highways, even airports, and so on. We need to think about critical points before you dig deeper into the project, what we refer to it, initiation of the project. We touch base on that in that block, and then we highlight the big picture of what's the planning and what's the scheduling components of any project. Then in the second education block, we will go with the mainly framework for the risk management. We touch base on that. We highlight the life cycle of a project. What are the typical delivery methods to build any project? And then we dig deeper into the project level in the third educational block here, which is the methods that we touch base on from the planning element, which I'm going to talk about it in a minute in details now, all the way to the usual suspect, I call them tools, scheduling tools that are available for us as project managers or construction managers. The last block, there is different components of technological trends that are happening all around us, from utilization of scheduling tools from like Primavera, all the way to the utilization of building information modeling, and what's even that mean then for those who does not know what's the area of VDC, virtual design construction. And we touch base on some examples of trends that are happening all around us in the construction industry, especially technological trends. So let's dig deeper into the 12 modules that we will go through, or you will go through when you go through this certificate. First module, and these 12 modules are summarize the executive summary that I highlighted from the previous slide in that 4 blocks. First module, we always talk about what is the construction industry, how it is breakdown, and what's the magnitude, how impactful we are in the economy in general. Because in our industry, we are 13 to 14% of the global GDP just comes from the construction and the infrastructure world. So we are considered as the biggest construction or the biggest industry in the world. So it's very important to understand the characteristics and the nature of the industry. And in the last 8 or 9 years, when I start to be heavily involved with the industry from a lot of projects, I noticed a lot of the learners from my students here and practitioners in the field do not understand what's the difference between construction manager and a project manager and a program manager. So I said in the beginning of the class, I have to summarize that for everyone before you dig deeper into what the other 12 modules will look like. So that's the first module, what you want to expect. The second module, we will highlight the life cycle of any project, how we start from the conceptual idea to the pre-design feasibility study, full design of the project, to the construction phase, to even the operation and maintenance. We will highlight what are these phases of any project that you will be small project, like just like a house, all the way to a big residential compound or a big mall, or as I said, like an airport or any infrastructure project. They go typically through a certain cycle, we will touch base on that module. And then we will highlight what we refer to it as project delivery methods. There are many project delivery methods, keep rising, but the most common one is the one in the second bullet point in module 2, which is called DBB, design, bid, and build. We will highlight what's that in more details, as well as a couple of other project delivery methods like design build and IPD, integrated project delivery method, and why the project delivery methods trend going more to integration and integration, which involve everyone from the first step of the project, why is happening over and over recently in our industry. And then we will touch base from an introductory level, the rising area of the lean in construction, and what is the lean theory from an intro level. In a later module, we will dig deeper into the lean in much more in this certificate, in this course. In module 3, we will touch base on the sustainable development. What is sustainability in construction, and how sustainability, it is not just linked towards environment, but it has a bigger, more wider definition, and with several components in that definition. We will touch base on it in much more details. And then we will focus our module 3 towards the critical area in any project, which is the EH&S area, environment, health, and safety. You can imagine during the COVID-19 year, when it first hit, most, if not all actually, of companies all around us, not in the US alone, but also internationally, start to understand what is safety means and how we can address it within the COVID era, and what we can do from keep our laborers, engineers as safe as possible. So that's area rose dramatically during the COVID years and the last couple of years, and it's keep rising. And I really like the idea, even there is the technology trends integrated with the safety in construction, and how all is connected to the sustainability and the sustainable development of construction. In module 4, we touch base into the specific area of technology related to building information modeling and how to represent the projects in a 3D visualization, and what is the information in that 3D critical information available for us, and how to use it from construction manager, from scheduler, from cost estimator, and so on. So we will highlight a lot of the introduction to BIM in this module, and touch base on a couple of other trends that integrated within the BIM itself, as well as not integrated, but some areas we will highlight, such as virtual reality, augmented reality, but from, again, an intro level to understand exactly, yes, this is the technology and digital landscape that I am involved in as an industry. After we finish these 4 modules, which will put the foundation of the class, will understand what to think of before you enter into any project, we will go to module number 5, when we introduce to you what is the role of a project manager in the project, what to expect from a PM when she or he joined any project, whatever the size of that project, and even what is the major roles, typical roles that they look at from the beginning of the project, in the middle of the project, towards the closing of the project. In the same module, which we refer to it as the planning phase of the project, before we enter into the scheduling, there is a critical task. We refer to it as the WBS, the work breakdown structure, where we divide the entire project into a manageable sections, and that's sections then will be transferred to construction activities later, will help us in the scheduling process. And we will introduce to you, once you divide during the work breakdown structure the project into elements, we need to highlight what we call it the standard and project coding, to have each activity or each component from the WBS structure a specific code or unique code, and why that's important in the following modules. Module number 6, then after we introduce the planning phase and of the project, we start scheduling. We start working with the time element of the project. The time element on how to manage your time efficiently and to be as much productive as you can until you finish the project. There are many tools, scheduling tools that are available for you. And I'm introducing in this class, in this course or this certificate, the most common used ones that for sure you will be dealing with your other colleagues in that project, either from subcontractors or the same company, the general contractor or a construction manager, or with the owner if you want to tell them what's going on their project and so on. We'll start with what we refer to it as bar charts or Gantt charts. Then we will highlight the activity precedence diagram. Sometimes we refer to it as activity unknown. And this is the most common scheduling technique, the bar charts and the activity precedence diagram that available out there. Okay. Then within that same module, we will highlight the element once we did the work breakdown structure and have all these components of the project. Then we touch base, how is the relation between all these components? Which component will come first? Which will come second? Which will come in the same time? Which has to come last? Because once we understand the type of the relationship between these construction activities, we will understand how to build the activity precedence diagram or activity unknown I was referring to. Then in module number 7, we introduced a critical definition of what we refer to it as the CPM, critical path method. This is a very, very crucial component that any project manager, program manager, construction manager needs to understand before once you look and read the schedule, while you are building the project, you go back and to see where are my critical activities, what are my critical paths or different critical paths, and how to deal with these critical paths. And then I will introduce the definition or the concept of calendar dates and work dates, and how even that is different in certain parts of the world than here in the US. And it will become why it is important, from my humble opinion and my experience, is projects becoming bigger and bigger. And to be able to deliver such mega programs or projects, you need sometimes companies from all around the world to come into certain geographical location to build that project. So they all come from different cultures and different what we call working dates or calendar dates. So you need to understand that definition in the project or in the location where that project is taking place. Module number 8, I present another scheduling technique that's similar somehow to the activity unknown, the most common one I told you about. We refer to it as activity on arrow. I've been through the GLCM traveling every single year to at least 1 to 2 countries out there with my team to study construction industry, visit projects, meet with companies to understand what are the trends, what's the nature, the characteristics of the construction all around the world. So I visited several countries from Middle East like UAE, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, way to the Far East, like in Malaysia, in Thailand. We went to Japan, we went to India, we went to South America, and here, of course, in the US and certain countries also in Europe. And we collected tons of data and information. And I noticed still some projects highlight activity on arrow on module number 8. So I said, like, you know what, still, let's touch base on it and then even give them an exercise to my learners, my students here, even at Columbia. And then towards the end of that module, we start to compare between all the scheduling tools that I introduced to you in this class or in this certificate. Then we jump into module number 9. Module number 9, we introduce to you the component of uncertainty. The component of uncertainty to highlight how certain you will finish an activities in, let's say, X amount of weeks or days. If you are not certain, then we introduce 3 kind of time for each activity. So that's will be the most likely, the pessimistic, the optimistic time. and we highlight how to deal with these 3 times when you look at the entire schedule of your project. And we refer to that scheduling tool or technique or methodology as the PERT. And as mentioned here is the introduction of the probability of the project being completed in a certain given duration. The same mechanism of the PERT can also be used not just on the time factor of the schedule, but also in the cost factor. So I introduced in module 9, and we refer to it as the range estimation. So I introduced that concept also within that module number 9, and then I compare between both for you to understand how the utilization of the uncertainty in your project in the time factor and the budget or the $sign, the cost factor. Module number 10, then after I talk about all the scheduling tools and methodologies that out there available for you, we touch base also. Let's summarize then what's the role then of a scheduler, what to do with these tools, and we dig deeper into that. And then I introduce one last thing, kind of a bonus, because there is a lot of projects around us goes through the nature of what we call repetitive nature. We refer to it as the linear construction, such as roads and highways. If you think about it, if you have X amount of mileage that you are building or X amount of kilometers that you are building, sometimes you can divide or break down that project into certain mileage, and each mile is like 4 miles, 6 miles, another 2 miles here, 4 miles. But within each section of the project, you will do the same exact activities. That's repetitive of activities over and over is referred to it as the linear construction. And there is a specific tool that being used in the manufacturing industry can easily be introduced in the repetitive nature of a linear construction, which we refer to it as the line of balance. So I do an introduction to that, and I give you an example how to even to use it in a real construction project. In the last 2 modules, especially number 11 here, I talk about a topic that's now dear to my heart in the last 7 or 8 years, understand technological trends. We introduced at the beginning of the module a specific technology that's been there for a while, not new, which is Primavera, which is a scheduling software available for us. I'm not gonna dig deeper into how to use it and teach you how to use the Primavera, because from Columbia and any other university around us, we introduced the fundamentals, the theoretical aspect, the technology aspect of the Primavera, how to use it in specific. That's you can take a lot of courses, not academic, but training courses, how to learn it. And in addition to the Primavera software for scheduling, there is also the MS project available, which is kind of a competitor to Primavera P6 especially. That's what we use in this certificate. We also highlight what are, from a big picture point of view, the differences between both. And we take you into a quick tour how to use it, but not to excel in it, but at least to be aware. Oh, now I understand. This is Primavera. This is the capability. This is how you use it in a project to understand, to read a schedule and so on. And also module number 12, I touch base onto scheduling for large programs. One major trend that's happening in our industry, that the projects becoming bigger and bigger and bigger and becoming even more complicated. When a project becoming bigger, sometimes you have several projects under a big umbrella, we call it program. So I introduce to you that program we highlight in module number 1, program management, project management, and construction management. We highlight in the last module, okay, let's look at the scheduling aspect of an entire program and touch base and introduce the element of the risk management factor, how to allocate and to plan, I identify and manage the risk component in that module. And I wrap up also with dig deeper into what we introduced about the lean theory, how lean being used in the scheduling component or scheduling subject of any project. So this is kind of the journey of the 12 modules that we go through in this certificate. Now, I have a major philosophy in my teaching at Columbia University here, which is how to bridge between theory and the practice in all my classes. Even for the online classes, I don't discriminate here. I always, my philosophy is the same for everyone. I invite as many professionals as I can from the industry, and I'm very picky when I select who is the one joining us in our team and who's not, to deliver these materials. So what you will be experiencing during these 12 modules, you will experience myself presenting to you, as well as many of my colleagues from companies like STV, engineering firms like STV, AECOM, Vertex from CM perspective, some consulting firms like McKinsey joining me on this, some different specific boutique firms, but heavily involved in a specific area like strategic program management in the international, as well as the lean construction. The Dentons from law firms to talk about project deliveries and contracts also is very important. So those individuals, you will see them within this journey alongside with myself in these modules. And hopefully then you will not get bored just like one person present to you. It will be an entire whole team present to you. And again, why? Because the practicality component of the material for my end is very, very important, not just to highlight the theoretical, but this is how we do it in the field as well. With that being said, Marie, I will go back to you.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Professor O'Day. An absolute honor learning from you about this program. As you can see, a multitude of expert voices brought together, Professor O'Day being very selective in order to provide for each and every one of you the best lens, the best perspective into that landscape here as you seek to bring these concepts and methodologies to life and really understand them fully. So thank you to you. I'm going to take us through some information about the learning experience, what you can expect from day to day throughout your time in the program. So let's dive in. So what else can you expect? You heard about those expert voices being brought into the program, those opportunities to learn live from Professor O'Day. Here are some of those other highlights we wanted to draw your attention to. You're going to have these interactive real life simulation experiences of scheduling, this deep dive into scheduling technologies, such as virtual reality and an MS project. So you're going to get those hands-on applications throughout your time in the program. This is a 3-month curriculum. You can expect about 4 to 6 hours per week. As we mentioned, we designed this program for full-time working professionals. So as you look ahead across these 3 months, you're looking to identify that 4 to 6 hour window. And that is around your availability. So you can take a look at your schedule, perhaps lunchtime or in the afternoons when the children are sleeping, weekends, are really identifying that 4 to 6 hours. But you're going through this program with your cohort in real time. And so what does that look like? At the beginning of each week, we release a set of content. We start with what we call week 0. So that's an entire week of orientation where you'll have an opportunity to get to know your teaching team, learn the platform that we'll be using, watch some introductory videos, learn more about the course schedule, get your calendar situated, and really prepare to dive into the content. So you'll have a full week of orientation. From there, at the beginning of each week, a new set of content is released for you and your peers. Together as a group, you'll be going through this with a blended synchronous and asynchronous approach. So much of what you see here on your screen, these video lectures, discussion boards, assignments, some of these simulations and real world examples, these are delivered asynchronously, allowing you to have that on-demand experience. So you'll be able to watch those videos around a schedule that works for you as many times as you need to really get a full understanding before you then step away from the videos and begin applying your learning through a variety of these asynchronous opportunities and exercises throughout the program. From there, at the same time, you'll have live opportunities, weekly office hours, discussion boards, 6 live webinars throughout the program where you'll be learning from directly from your faculty here. So you'll have those synchronous opportunities as well. Those live sessions are all recorded and posted in the platform. So even if you have to miss one, if it doesn't work with your schedule, again, you'll have that simulated live experience available starting the next day in the program and throughout the rest of your time in the program. So you'll be able to go back in and touch on those themes. All of this designed to give you the highest level of convenience possible. All of our material is available on a mobile app, a tablet, on the go. You'll have access to the content for a full year. So this is a 3-month program, but as you apply these frameworks, as you take this learning into your organization, into your professions, you'll be able to go back through for a full year, touch on those videos again, see those activities and discussions with your peers. So you have that opportunity to really see this come to life in your profession. So a lot of opportunity for you to have that convenience. And then the other word I'd like to think about, so you have convenient and you also have interactive. We strongly believe that working together with your peers through this content is going to give you not only that deep understanding, but really that broadened scope of understanding as you see these themes come to life for your peers in their industries and their projects and in their work. So you'll get that full scope of understanding through that peer learning, through a chance to interact with your faculty throughout the program, and also a chance to have program leaders support these industry experts really at the helm of your learning. So a lot in store for you as you think about that high level of interaction, that high level of convenience, really applying these themes as you go. These are some of those application exercises that helps you to bring to life your learning. So I'll let you take a look at some of these. Professor Ade, do you want to jump back in and maybe talk about some of these exercises and sort of the background insight on the application here and why you've chosen these exercises?
So basically, there is a couple of, as I mentioned, critical components that you need to understand, just like to practice before you finish this certificate. Some of it that trend in the industry, like the modular construction. So I did introduce to you at the beginning in module number 1, the differences between manufacturing and construction and how manufacturing process, we are utilizing it in our industry from the modular construction and the prefabrication element. And if you remember, I also talked about the linear construction. The linear scheduling and the linear construction also helped us from the manufacturing and the modular part of the world, or the modular part of the methodology, we call it, the modular methodology and the prefabrication of the construction. So this is one element, it's keep rising. That's one reason why we're highlighting such trends in these exercises. A process step by step of designing and building kind of your dream house, because we want to test you, did you understand the entire material that we introduced in all the modules, especially starting from module number 4 all the way to 8. Identify the safety hazards. Again, the area of safety dear to my heart even before the pandemic. So imagine during the pandemic, everyone started to ask, like, what innovative areas in safety? So that's for us is very important, how to get everyone safe within the project. Sustainability, with all the changes, both from society, from the climate changes happening around us, and new business models keep coming left and right. So the sustainability elements and aspect is very important for me to introduce it as an application and exercise. And this is just like Marie, I touched base a couple of examples on the top 4 here in the bullet points, but I would be more than happy to talk about more details.
That's great. Thank you so much, Professor O'Day. Certainly, as you can tell, a lot of thought put into the development of this program. So thank you. Professor O'Day is still with us. Be sure to put those questions in there. We're going to open up here for questions in just a moment. Firstly, we wanted to showcase a few quick things here for you. Firstly, the chance to earn a credential here from Columbia Engineering. For those of you who successfully complete the program, you do have an opportunity here to earn this credential here. This really formalizes your training and helps to showcase your expertise. So if you're looking to springboard into career advancement opportunities, certainly having this credential here from Columbia Engineering will go a long way in helping you to reach those career advancement goals. So that's one of the big returns on your investment. You also have that broadened professional network. You've gained those peers and colleagues that you'll be connected with now upon leaving the program. So you have that broadened professional network as well. We want to make sure that that high level of support and interaction that we talk about in the program begins right here, right now with today's session. So what we'd like you to do is get connected with a program advisor. I mentioned our program advisors earlier in the session. They are experts on this program. They know all about the logistics, the dates, the scheduling. They know all about course policy details. How do I earn that certificate of completion? What's the evaluative criteria for the program? They can take you through those details. Certainly get connected with an advisor. You'll see if you open your chat box and you scroll all the way to the bottom, there's a link there in your chat. That link is going to take you over to our course landing page, which looks like what you see here on your screen. If you click on that blue Apply Now button there, you'll get to do two things. Firstly, you'll get to download the course brochure. So it contains everything we've described here for you today in rich detail. It's a beautiful brochure that really takes you through the whole program. So you'll get to download that brochure, and you'll also have an opportunity to schedule a direct appointment with a program advisor. We use an app called Calendly, so you'll be able to select a time that works for you to get connected with one of our advisors. They'll then help you through the next steps as you seek to begin the program here. So click on the link there in the chat for that opportunity to get connected with an advisor. You can also use that email address there, columbia@emeritus.org. You'll see that at the bottom of your chat there as well. Let us know by email if you'd like an advisor. We can connect you that way. With that, let's go ahead and open up for questions now. Professor O'Day, I'd like to invite you back in here. I know you've had a chance to look at some of the questions that have come through. Would you like to start here with the very first one here in the box? If you don't have experience with business and you're looking to begin a new career in this field, is this course going to be the right course for you? So what would you say to learners who are just starting out, just trying to branch into this field? Is this program designed to meet their needs?
Yeah, the short answer is yes, but let me elaborate a little bit more, Louise, on this. When during the introduction, Marie was talking about specific slide, who is this program for? And we highlight a couple of points. And the reason is we, as a team here at Columbia, we thought about it a lot, about who will be coming to this certificate. The first 2 modules or even 3 modules will be laser focused for you as, okay, now I understand what's the nature and now I understand what to expect when I dig deeper into any project. And then that will be more than enough for you to go continue with all the other modules. For those who already is the industry, and it will help them refresh their memory, one. Second, understand the trends that they might not be able, they don't have the time, or maybe they know it, but they will see it from a different perspective, from different case studies, different practicality experience. And third, start to pave the way also for them to now dig deeper into the other modules. So I confidently say the answer is yes. And luckily from the previous learners, those who already have zero experience and jump into it, they have a huge kind of great experience during this certificate. So the answer is yes on this.
And certainly you have that support every step of the way. So as you dive into this content, if you need to reach out for additional support, you have those office hours being led by your program leaders. You have your peers there as well with you. So you're going to have those supports with you every step through your learning journey. Esteban, I see your question there in the chat box. Can the course be taken on a mobile device? And the answer is yes. So we do use a platform that is available on a mobile device. So if you're on a tablet or a smartphone, you'll be able to access all of the content, including live webinars, and go through the material. So all of that is available to you. And your second question there, is there a test, Esteban, at the end of the program? There is no test, but all throughout the program, you will have assignments that you'll be submitting for completion. And I believe this program is passed on a completion rate, but please do get connected with an advisor. They're closest to those details. They know more about the evaluation process. They can tell you more about how that is scored, but there is not a final exam here. We're really helping you to bring bring to life your learning throughout the program, throughout these assignments. So it's not necessarily aimed at testing your knowledge so much as it is supporting you in bringing to life your learning. So as long as you're submitting those assignments and you're keeping step with the program, you're going to be able to have that opportunity to pass the program and earn that certificate. And so we like to lower the bar and really allow you to bring to life your learning here as a way of showcasing your participation. So Professor O'Day, as you think about this program, maybe I can invite you in to talk a little bit more about, you talked about what brought you to this program, your experience, your background. So as you think about the folks who are seeking to join the program, what would you say was one of your main objectives when you decided to develop this program? What were you hoping to be able to deliver here?
This is a very good question, actually. And let me start by a quick history of this certificate. And it will take me less than 3 or 4 minutes. Being a professor, to having 4 minutes presentation will be tough, but I will try to do it here. So basically, I noticed in the last 8 years, I get asked for certain consulting work with big corporations on how to design for them what we call a corporate university. If you noticed, what I noticed, if you think about it, the rise of corporate universities in big corporations, it's because there is tons of changes happening in our industry. Exciting changes, by the way. So they sometimes don't have the time to go and leave their job to an MS program and set for 1 or even 2 years. So they started these corporate universities from Turner has a corporate university, Turner University, AECOM, Skanska, Bechtel, all the big corporations from a GC, from engineering firms, from design firms, they have that because they want to keep pushing for the continuous learning. This continuous learning, how to happen? It has to happen virtually while they are commuting to the job site, coming back from the office over the weekends. They want to have not a lot of workload, but you get good work quality, good quality information to keep understanding what's happening around us. That's why that was the motivation behind why I want to push for that. And I also observed within Colombia, we have a lot of MSc students that work full-time in the industry. And sometimes they have some challenges, but still can do it. That's why, because in Colombia, we have our classes start at 4 in the afternoon, at 7 in the evening, to consider that for those practitioners. So that's one major motivation for me. It's like, you know what, why to integrate these classes and start that classes for such learners? They don't have even the time to come here at Colombia because they are in the different parts even of the world, which I have tons of international learners all around the world. This is one. And the second thing is because that keep changing industry around us. That's why from my classes, every now and then I go ahead and update. And if you guys noticed, back to a question for Marie, we have a live component to be an agile team, to keep putting more new trends that we did not maybe manage to cover it into these 12 modules. So we heavily, through the team from Emeritus and Colombia, trying to understand, okay, what else are we missing that can add tremendous value to them? So that's kind of my motivation behind it. And this is how we keep dealing with the changes around us. It makes sense.
Absolutely. And really, in many ways, breaking down some of those barriers in a traditional classroom environment where you're constrained by space and time, only a certain number of seats in the room, certain number of minutes to get through a certain set of curriculum. Here in this online context, you also have that opportunity to have that fully immersive learning experience while also working full time. So you're watching those on-demand videos, applying your learning, really gaining that full scope understanding before moving on to the next concept. So a lot of opportunity here for you as you think about the content, as you think about preparing for the future. Professor O'Day, we have a question here, and I think it's a great question to end on here. And what's the future? What's the landscape? So in your opinion, do you see the field growing more in the future? And what is the success? How do you define success? So a really great one as we explore where we're headed in this industry.
Okay, it just like happened that I will have a podcast today at 5 o'clock just to talk about this area. And it's going to be 1 hour discussion. So I have many things, but let me summarize it also in as Marie said, like as sum up. again, our industry has its unique characteristics in our industry. There is many parties in our industry. It's a fragmented market. We have 800,000 companies in the US alone. 80% of these companies has 10 workers and less. So that's just like the amount of fragmentation in the industry. And the barrier to entry is very low. That's why it's fragmented. Okay. But the most exciting about it, there is left and right innovative ways to invest in construction. Our infrastructure is deteriorating. We rank really low, and we need to keep enhancing the infrastructure in our states here as well as internationally. There is a new cities and towns internationally are building from scratch. There is more, the population are keep growing over and over. So definitely there is a huge need in construction, being the oldest construction in the world. And we're building structures since ages, since the pyramids, the Great Wall of China, and all these structures. You need engineers, you need builders for that. Now, the exciting part, Luis, is these trends in the markets and the demand in the market need to be accompanied also with the preparation of the fourth industrial revolution, which is the technology and the digital solutions element. How robotics will play a major role in that, how drones will play a major role, how the rise of big data and data analytics that coming from the sensors that we are putting them left and right in these projects. What my team is looking at different technologies, how wearable technologies from hard hats, vests, watches, hard boots, with all sensors accompanied with these wearables, what can we do with them? So there is a huge rise in this area also on that, what we call the ConTech, the construction technology. Let me wrap it up with one element, Luis, for you and for everyone here. Around 2000 to 2000, I believe, 10 to 2015, the amount of investment got put in construction technology was around $8 billion. From 2015 to 2020, the amount of investment jumped to $25 billion. So that by itself, it is not just like my opinion. Now I'm throwing some facts on the table to understand, to read between the lines here. With all these movements towards us and all these technological trends coming, all the startups are rising, all the money and the infrastructure bill, now being put more money to us here, the rise of what we call the PPP, public-private partnership. So we have more funding still coming from the private sector, not just from the government. That will be a move to a good future for our industry.
So much in store. Thank you, Professor O'Day, for being here. We're just at the top of the hour here, so we're going to go ahead and close out our time together. We'd love any final words of wisdom, final words of advice. I'm certainly inspired. Any final words that you'd like to leave us with here today as we close out our time together?
No, still be curious. Keep learning, please. Don't learn from the traditional way to come to a university. Now the university comes to you through also a great partnership like Emeritus that we have. And it's just like it's a click of a button away from you, from either your laptop, your iPad, your phone. You still can go through such a great knowledge.
Absolutely. We have made this all available for you. With that, thank you again to Professor O'Day for being here with us. Thank you for taking us through this content. Jade, if you're still with us, thank you as well for being here, helping us to understand more about Columbia Engineering and the Video Network's collaboration. So for all of you who've joined in from across the globe, thank you. It's been an honor learning shoulder to shoulder with each and every one of you. Welcome to this community. We hope to see you back here real soon in the course. For now, we sign off with a heartfelt good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good day to all of you from around the globe. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Take care.